Can't catch me!
It's been a while since we first set foot on Inazuma. So many things have happened. Yeah, we've Huh? Hey! What the heck was that for? Doesn't want to talk, huh? All right, let's convince him to calm down a little.
Think you can get away? Punishment! Here we go! Judgment!
Oni coming through!
Oh, so you don't have... Seems like I've missed...
At the very least, you should make... No, wait! Even when you've got...
Have you ever met someone by the name of Ka... He carries a sword just like you. I've also heard... That's none of your business. Never mind. You don't look like you know anything anyway. I'm wasting my time.
What the heck is this guy's problem? Coming around here, waving that weird... Well, one thing's for sure. Right? Anyway, just to be on the safe... Oh? What kind of hunch? A special connection? You mean, Yeah, anyway, there's no... Paimon heard that the Crux fleet is stocking up in Rito at the moment. Let's look for him there. Hello? Do you know where Kazuha is?
You're looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive after all. Well, we took the small vessels into... If it's because of that battle on Nizuchi Beach, Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time.
Oh, so...
I've heard bits and pieces. It's something... Is it really as big a deal as... Really? Wow. He was called away earlier by some... I thought they'd come to arrest him at first.
Just a little while ago, thank you. Guess we'll go pay a visit.
All right, then. I'll just...
Oh? It's you.
Greetings. We were just discussing the repealing of the Vision Hunt Decree. We invited Mr. Kaidahara here to extend a gesture of good... Your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs that we now... The Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives. The Tri-Commission has made the recommendation... Regarding the history of the Kaidahara clan, I trust... In short, there was once a group of select bladesmiths who served... But there came a time when some of these bladesmiths revolted and fled. We later learned that the whole misadventure... Considering Mr. Kaidahara has once more made an outstanding contribution to Inazuma, the Almighty, in the interest of preventing further harassment of the bladesmith clans by the
This is a true honor. However, would I be correct to assume that this...
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. With the Kaidahara clan's reputation, you will be able to lead a safe and prosperous life in Inazuma City. With the almighty Shogun's blessing and
I have grown accustomed to life among the elements. I fear I would no longer feel at home, yet my ancestors did indeed.
I sense some hesitation. Should you accept this offer?
Malicious, rude.
Well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is some... Also, eyewitnesses saw him using the...
What? But that doesn't make sense.
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a...
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am very uncomfortable with being... But perhaps if the shogunate is willing to publicly support me, this situation...
This is precisely why I encourage you to...
Please allow me some time to... In fact, let us put this discussion on hold for the moment. Well then, what brings the two of...
Yikes! We nearly forgot a...
Why would such a dangerous individual be looking for me? No, my fighting forms were taught to me by my family. Over time, these techniques came to... Those forms are quite different from the more practical ones typically used by samurai in battle. So it's hard to imagine that the similarity you speak of was coincidence alone.
All the more reason to watch your back.
Indeed. He sounds hot.
In that case, I will send some men...
Thank you. I must say, I am now very curious about this matter, and I will first join the Traveler in investigating the one...
Very well. Please stay safe.
Come on. Let's go and track down your aggressor.
The detective agency knows the most about what goes on in town. Let's see what Ryuji has to say.
Can't catch me.
Hey there! We'd like to... Do you know if anyone around...
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr.
You are too kind. We are
Oh? You were targeted in an Mr. Kaidehara is currently the talk of the town. So to be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many... Some of them were offering us millions of mora.
Millions? Of Mora? Whoa!
Please, accept my thanks for looking out.
Of course. No matter what we... Sorry, I got a little off topic. But I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect this with an...
Then let's put that connection aside. The Tenryou Commission had very few...
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the street. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault. In which case the Tenryou...
Uh-oh. Looks like the trail's already run cold.
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you, few people possess your prowess in battle. So I am well aware of your talents. There is no need to be humble around me. It would cause me great grief. For the poor victim,
Don't worry, we'll find him.
It seems you are every bit the selfless here.
you flatter me.
You are much too humble. Oh, actually, let me tell you about it, Justin.
Sure. During times like
All right then. Recently, one of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed
Amanoma.
Right. Yuya is the two grown men going missing at the same... I recalled this because Amenoma...
Understood. Though it's...
Sure, can't hurt.
Thank you, Ryuji.
Sounds good.
If it...
Yes, the Kaedahara and After I returned to Inazuma, I visited... let me quickly explain. The Raiden, the techniques of blade making were personally bequeathed. Unfortunately, a series of events led to the gradual decline of...
So sad.
It is a great pity indeed. As an example, the Amenoma art. There is nothing mystical to our work. As for the art of the Kaedahara...
That's right. Ishin for only a blade thus...
Indeed. You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade.
You overestimate me. But let's get back on topic. The purpose... We hope to assist with the investigation. It may...
Yes. My nephew. He didn't say a word before he left, but I've done what I can so...
We heard that there was a collector involved in the
Yes. On the morning that Yuya... I believe he went to collect the item from Miss... Yes. Strange, isn't it? I wonder... If I had to guess, it must have been some kind of rare... He's never been particularly interested in Blade 4. He is extraordinarily talented in martial arts.
Truth be told, we have some information that you may find based on the evidence we have gathered.
What? No. He is humble and kind. Even his training is done with the goal of Yes. If there's one thing But, with that, I also cannot know what course of act... Anyway, should you find him...
Don't worry. You have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think Yuya was the one who...
Yes. It sounds as if something happened when the... Let's pay a visit to the Nagato.
I'm very sorry, but my husband has gone missing and I'm still...
No, you misunderstand us. We are here to...
I see. I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state.
I'm afraid we don't have any new information. With this in mind, can we...
For example, Paimon's struggling to understand...
That's a long story. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself, but everything was fine when we first got married.
Uh-oh.
He lost his sense of restraint. Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. I'm happy he has a hobby, and I'm willing to support him. But making ends meet has to come first. I've tried on the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum.
Whoa!
And that led to an
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet man. You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening. After I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time. His voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our... Had I not indulged his bad habits, we wouldn't have... And I also don't know if he had... The next thing I heard was that our warehouse had caught fire, and both he and the buyer...
I see. Amenoma Yuya came to purchase a weapon from...
At first, I assumed they must have got... But my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so...
Maybe he was feeling the...
I don't know. He just disappeared after... Perhaps he's too afraid to come home, now that all his collectibles have been lost in the fire. And he's gotten... Even though I'm still a little mad at him. We're a family. As long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf, I know we can...
Please don't get upset. There could be more to this. If collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, It is quite unusual for this but the information we gathered from the other side suggests Amenoma Yuya is also a mild-mannered man.
A little confusing. More like completely missed.
Let's try a change of scenery and see if we... Rest assured, we'll notify you if we find anything.
Thank you so much.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how the situation... Do you have any thoughts?
Well, Paimon was... Nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
An interesting explanation. Amenoma Yuya is an expert on swords. He could have noticed some maybe he recognized a blade as a fake, or they thought a fire would destroy everything. But then the Tenryou Commission... But it's a far-fetched theory. One fact that I keep coming back to is that Amenoma Yuya is polite and well-mannered. Well, Mr. Nagato, being heavily in debt, is also the only one of them with the potential motive. The more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Right. Although the time frame seems to broadly match, no other details that we've learned seem to link the two events together. Amenoma Yuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker, namely that he is principally a practitioner of the blade testing.
Darn! We thought we could get two birds with one stone here, but at this rate...
Let's keep going. If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and Mrs. Nagato will be...
Okay, but...
Let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse.
Can't catch me!
My apologies. Come on.
Wait. I hear something ominous and...
Oh! This must be another one of those sounds as sketchy as that whole thing seems. You did put it to good...
Now I'm picking up a strong scent.
But there's nothing here.
It's gone now. But I can still see... It felt very much like that ancient Indeed. But this unexpected spring... We should remain vigilant.
So it's an underground...
The force is the source of the Tatarigami energy has... Judging from the concentration...
Mrs. Nagato said her husband used to hang around the warehouse by himself a lot.
It could well be that he was already under the influence of Tatarigami. From what I've been told... But most will develop a stubborn streak upon being Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with. The influence of Tatarigami could explain why he became an obsessive hoarder, amassing more and more possession.
So which...
Step back. I'll open the door and take a look If we don't open this door, we can move no closer. You needn't worry. Both of us have faced far greater dangers than this.
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. I can't see anything. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
That was too scary! Paimon was so...
All we can do now is keep searching in the direct two ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. Yes, let's go. If not, quiet your mind and focus on what you sense around you. From this point, the trail appears to the main source of the Tatarigami energy continued on into the distance.
Whoa! Look at all those hilly trails! They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's take a closer look.
Yahoo! Time for takeoff. Judgment!
Cascade!
Here we go! Shiver! Think you can get away? You can't run! Ugh.
By the looks of it, a letter written on a piece of torn cloak. Well, according to this letter, Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato in the fight. Mr. Nagato...
So...
He was not only mortally wounded, but also under the heavy influence of Tatarigami. Add to that the fact that its aura seems... Whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after... Yes. Right now, we need to uncover some more important... If Ame no Mayuya is attacking other people in this...
Right! So let's get moving!
I wouldn't be surprised if he, too, for a practitioner of the martial arts, the easiest desire to all the clues that at first seemed disparate, and I have a hypothesis that if it's correct...
Wait! You figured it out?
I believe so. But it's something of an out... On with the search. We must stay vigilant.
Why here? Is there any...
I'm not sure, but on closer examine... Show yourself!
Kaedehara Kazuha. It's you, at last.
Aha! So it is... What's your problem, huh? What could you possibly...
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. But what if instead of facing Ame no Mayuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
Now that you mention it... Whoa! Surely...
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical objects. The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years. Or rather, as a means to occupy Ame no Mayuya.
You're sharper than I thought. Many, many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith as a descendant of the Kaedehara clan.
I presume it has something...
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden. He was a bladesmith of great... And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of in her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world, but also in
So... swords can become...
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind of power. After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and I seek but one thing. To face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power. The might of
So Ame no Mayuya was not your first victim. Tell me, what happens to those you've possessed?
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them? They are but tools. When they got tired, or injured, or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line.
You're off!
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide at long last. I'm a Kaedehara Kazuha. You stood against the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotaka. Now, We shall rewrite
Time for
history.
takeoff.
Submit to me.
Be still. The depth's back.
Into the wind. One with nature.
Submit to me.
Fallen
Join
leaves
me.
adorn my
Sever the divine light.
Let's roll! Cascade.
Punishment.
Wind strike. Time to go. Into the wind.
Join me and sever that divine light. Do not stand in
Your bluff's fooling no.
Lost. I can never lose, even if you defeat me here. Though he is but a puppet that can be replaced. The end result is and even if I were to, by any means necessary.
Your fighting style. But from your movements, I sense only hatred and arrogance.
Really? You can tell.
As I've mentioned before, the forms since the blade is currently possessing Aminome Yuya's body, if you ask me, the mania is...
Are you trying to claim that I am held on his deathbed? He passed to me all of East in that regard.
Because all of that is in the past. I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble. Now that I've seen inside your mind, everything... After all the time that's passed, you have grown weak.
Oh, that's right. Paimon remembers now.
Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress and decided to...
And what of it?
Well, that brings me to my second point. That you were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost. But I think you realized your limitations long ago. The more you clenched your teeth and pressed forward, but the way I see it...
What would you know about any of this?
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. But to make this art, even if you were to sever that divine light, is this true? Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art, but how could you possibly unleash the full potential of Ishin art when you...
Silence! I must achieve my goal. I will concede that you are most perceptive.
And you should face reality.
Easy for you to say. Facing reality, I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not... It is pointless to argue further, descendant of the Kaida.
How stubbornly you stick to... I do not believe for a second that you can
What? Surely you're not...
Very well. Then find yourself some enemies. Once we have dealt with them, we shall proceed.
And as for your end of the bargain,
I accept.
Don't do this, Kazuha!
this is the only way to save Aminome Yuya. If we don't do this, he'll forever be... The cursed blade's strength is currently very weak. The power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existing obsessions. This is the reason...
But...
Even if things take a turn for the worse, we have a chance here to save an innocent victim.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. Now.
Kazuha?
I felt a little dizzy at first. It's all right. So far, this was as I expected. I will.
What should we do next? Have you...
We find some enemy. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, if a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harm, if he wants to avoid reality, then we need to...
Wait a minute! Paimon remembers here, since the Takasukasa clan abandoned that secret base, What about Amin...
The blade says he'll let Aminome Yuya trail us silently.
Are we sure this is a good idea? Okay, fine.